pray. We pray for anyone who needs some help with any mental health, physical health. For this, praise the Lord. Lord, hear our prayer. And the gal, one of three. You have the least amount of eyes, so go ahead, Tess. Very good. Let's pray for everyone who has COVID and had scary, and give them the courage and cure them ASAP. That they can live a normal life very quickly, especially your friend's mother. Let's pray to the Lord. Lord, hear our prayer. Awesome. Okay, so let's crack this homework, and then you got 2 questions like this for a daily quiz. Podcast people, we're on page 178, 15E and 15F, doing decomp. Pay attention, because your quiz is exactly on these 2 questions, okay? So first thing we learned yesterday was the product is no longer just the n number. If it starts with 2a squared or 3a squared or 5a squared, and you can't take a 5 out, and it's not a GCF question, then you multiply this one times this one. So the product is negative 40, and the sum is still a number, the numerical coefficient on the a term or the x term. So the sum is 18. So first step is a sum product step. What 2 numbers multiply to negative 40 and add to negative 18. No one knows that for sure. Thank you. Negative 20 and 2. Now, before, when it was sum product, you would just put those numbers in the brackets. X subtract 20 times x plus 2. We're done. Now, for decomp, those are our middle terms. Those are our middle terms. Hi. Yes. That's probably what you said. Thank you. That's perfect. So that adds up to 18 and multiplies to negative 40. Good job. Thank you for that. And now we break up the middle term. So we can, there we go. We can write down the first term and last term, or you can write down the middle term first. It doesn't matter. But this is the one that's turning into, this is 18, that's turning into 20 subtract 2. And it's still equal. We just allows us to do a grouping question. So we make 3 terms into 4 terms, and now we can slice and dice. Okay? I'm going to put my negative 1 first. Negative 2a plus 20a. Works out nicely anyway. You get 4a subtract 1 plus 5. 4a subtract 1. And we're happy, because we have a common binomial. I'm not going to review grouping too much, because we did that a whole day-ish. So if you need help on group or anything with the math help today, ask anything now, or forever hold your peace. That's not true. You don't have to today, ask me tomorrow. Okay, I'll leave that on for podcast. Any questions on that? And we're not done. Now we need to check. So I've got a 4a squared, 4a times 2a, that's my 8a squared. I've got a 20a subtract 2a, which is 18a, got it. Then a negative 5. Okay, if you do that in your big fat brain, just make sure you make a sign mistake like I just did. Okay, if I made a sign mistake there, it wouldn't work out. Like, even if I didn't fix it and it worked, it wouldn't, when I checked it, it wouldn't give me the exact same answer. And it would save me a mark, 50% on my mark-ish. Okay, any questions on that? All right, pause if you need to keep writing that down. We're moving on to F. There it is. Beautiful. The product equals 24. 8 times 3. Sum equals negative 14. Half impossible 2. Anybody get it with help from mom and dad? Grandpa and grandma? Their puppy? You don't have a puppy? You have a puppy? Oh, sweet. In the bag? No? No. You should put it in the bag next time. Somebody can go, aww. All right, talk to me. Negative 12r and negative 2r. Perfect. I'm going to continue to use the same color for the first term and last term. That's not what changes. But then I'm going to go blue. Negative 14 is negative 12 r. Subtract 2 r. and then you slice and dice. What's the GCF of the first two terms, my friends? 4R, good. So you get 2R. Subtract 3. What's the GCF of this one? Close. -1, yeah. So -1 will give you the same. And just double check that to make sure you get -2R plus 3. And you do. So that enables us, that's a big word, to write down the answer. The binomial product, 2R subtract 3 times 4R plus 1, 8R squared, yep. -2 subtract -14R and plus 3. They all don't even correct this. It is correct. I know it's right. Save your time. Go drink some Coke. Okay. Maybe I'll be nice. Go ahead and do G and H, and I'll even leave that as a blueprint. Okay, daily quiz today, G and H. We've got 10-ish, 12-ish minutes. Podcasters do G and H, and then unpause to get the answer. So pause. Good luck. Okay, that's correct. Next question. Two numbers are multiplied at -30 and add to what? 1. What numbers are they? 6 and -5 or -6 and +5? 6 and -5, those are real terms. That's what this one breaks down to. 6D subtract 5D. Everything else stays the same. 6D squared, come on down. And the next contestant there. -5, come on down. Slice and dice. You get a 6D, D plus 1, subtract 5, D plus 1. I should put my negative first, it doesn't matter. You don't have to, but if you did, you get the exact same, or if you didn't, you get the exact same answer. Did anybody get that answer? I don't have to ask you, I could just check it using FOIL. So let's do that. 6D squared, subtract 5D, plus is plus 1, subtract 5, yup. Good stuff. That's another 2.5. And then this one is the same thing, -30 and -7. So if the sum is negative, the big number is negative. That one. Now I'm going to put first. It's going crazy. So please put equal signs. Check your work. Put equal signs. If you don't have an equal sign, kick yourself in the shins. Thank you. And you get 3D, subtract 2. And what? We saw that yesterday. What do you have to do? Plus 1. You have to have binomials as the final answer. So don't just put 5e. And if you do put 5e and not 5e plus 1, your check isn't going to work on the FOIL. So you'll check that quickly. That's on a 2.5. So this is a quarter mark. This is a quarter mark. This is 2/3 of a mark. That's going to be 4/5 of a mark. That's more of a 7/8 of a marker. This is a mark. This is 1.25. This is decimal 32. And that is 1/8 and 1/8. And then 3 and 1/3. And then -5 and 2/3 for this. So altogether 2.5. If you're here today, you get 5 out of 5. Good job. So everyone gets 5 out of 5. I will do that. Let's move on to separate piece of paper. And we're going to do Coca Cola Shuffle. Okay, so this is another way of factoring a trinomial that starts with 2x squared, 3x squared, 5x squared. Let's write down the steps. Oh, look at that. Wow! Let me stare at it for 5 seconds. That's amazing. Who wants my autograph? You're welcome. Now I got to make it the shuffle somehow stand out as well. All right, this is math. Write down these steps, please. Never mind. Let's do this one first, and then we'll write down the steps. All right, you go do example 99. It says simplify or multiply. Simplify that. You don't have to look for a binomial GCF, which makes no sense. Since we have Coca Cola Shuffle, look what I have. That's okay. You know what the first ingredient in Coca Cola is? No. Joy. You know what else you can't have joy? You can't have joy unless you have J-O. Check for me, not you. You want that one. Wonder Woman 1984. Have you seen that? Anybody see that? You guys? No? Okay. Don't get it. Like, why can't they make it? Marvel is nailing it. Not every movie, but I definitely love Marvel. Have you seen Black Widow? Or no, it's not even out yet, is it? I saw a preview and it was supposed to come out to a theater. No, I don't think it's out yet. Anyone seen WandaVision?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's
Really? Yeah, I would. That's a tough premise.
It's gotten better every episode. There's like a 50
Well, thanks. Now I don't even have to watch it. Oh, 50 sitcom. Just blew it for me. No, I still haven't seen the preview. So 2x squared plus 20x. I'm excited about Monday, although I might pull this out on Saturday. I have a family day gift. First of all, my family is, no offense, well, I'll say gullible. I almost said the S word. I've got a pile of presents for family day. Like, there's 12 presents. And the kids are like, where are these presents for? I said, well, it's my birthday on March. Those are my birthday presents. So they all think they're, and even my wife thinks those are my birthday presents. They're family day presents for everyone to open. And we got swords, we got toys. I know, well, ask. Tell my mom and dad. Anyways, I'm a great time. And then my last family day present is I subscribe to the Disney Channel, or Disney Plus. So I've been hiding the remote from the new TV that shows that we have Disney Plus for about a month now. So I might have to tell them on Saturday. Especially if it's minus 32. Yep, it's only $8. It's $8 a month. I can be all cheap this. I rent at least one Marvel movie every month. So it's like free. I'm making money. Don't tell Disney not. Okay. Podcast off. Podcast off. Alexa, off. No, still works. That's how you do it. That's not what I want to do. I want to focus on these middle terms. Where do these middle terms come from? What arrows? In foil. Everyone? Yep. Good. Okay, so that's where the middle terms are created when you foil, and that's what we're going to use to do the Coca Cola Shuffle. We're going to use this times this will give you the 20x, and this times this gives you the 5x. Why? Because when we find two numbers that multiply 12 and add to 7, those are our middle terms. So those are the ones that are created by the O arrow and the I arrow. So if I have a 2x, I need to put a plus 2 here to get my 4x. And if I have an x there, I put a 3 there to get my 3x. And you're confused now, but don't worry. We'll do an example that's not written over. So let's write the steps first. But hopefully everyone can see that these middle terms come from the O arrow and the I arrow. So that's what we're going to focus on. Those two arrows are going to create our middle term. So there. Okay, so let's write down the steps. The Coca Cola Shuffle, better stay in red. 1, find the middle term. So same first step. Find middle terms by sum product. Exact same first step as decomp. Second, create first term. That's the F arrow. 3, draw O and I arrows and create middle terms. And 4th, same last step. What's the same last step? Rhymes with Shrek. Good job. Check using foil. Make sure you didn't put the numbers in the wrong term. So let's do one together. Factor. It's supposed to be black, but it looks exactly the same. It's red. Factor 2x squared plus 25x plus 50. We'll also do this one together. 3x squared plus 10x plus 3. What has up there? Okay, so decomp. 5 steps later, we get the answer. This is short and quick and to the point. Real quick. First step is factor means create brackets. I lied, I got so excited. Never mind. First step is sum product. Go ahead and do sum product. Two numbers are multiplied on 100 and add 25. That's enough time. 20 and 5. So we need a 20x and a 5x. Those are our middle terms. That's the whole point of the Coca Cola Shuffle, is knowing that these are our middle terms. Sorry, I'm running into the steps there. First step is to create a 2x squared. The only way you're going to get 2x squared is 2x times x, or vice versa. Right? The only way you're going to get into 2x squared. Everyone agree that that gives us our first term? Next step is draw the O and the I arrows, and that will create our middle terms. Our middle terms are right here, 20x and 5x. So 2 times what? So I'm looking over here. 2 times what equals 20 or 5? So 2 times what equals 20? 10. So I put 10 here. Remember, arrows mean multiply. And that will give us our 20x, right? 2x times 10 is 20x. So now I need a 5x. X times what equals 5x? Pardon? Plus 5. Now check it. 2x squared, 20x plus 5x is 25x. What? Done already? Look at all this free time I have to watch WandaVision. One show I thought would be terrible, and it's one of my favorites, is Black Panther. I remember like, oh, this is going to be terrible. So I've watched it probably 10 times. How'd that go? Neat? Did I call it neat? I think I'll call it neat. That's neat. But so this is what you can't do. You can't put the 10 here and the 5 here. Okay, it's not, these two aren't being multiplied together. It's the O and the I arrow that are being multiplied together. Okay? So, and if you did that, obviously your FOIL wouldn't work anyway. Okay, let's do this one. Sum product, two numbers are multiplied to 9 and add to 10 are 9 and 1. So you need a 9x and a 1x. Same first step is decomposition. Second step is to create your first term. So how do I get a 3x squared? There's only one way. 3x times x. Agreed? Thumbs up, good job. No, this times this will give you a middle term, and this times this will give you a middle term. So 3 times what equals 9 or 1? Always start with the big number. 3 times 3, make sure you put it here, gives you the 9x. Now I need the 1x, so x times 1. Get the check out when you FOIL it in your head. Thumbs up. Hey.
So if we can use this, is there any ways to try to use decomp?
Yep. Noble. Decomp is what you'll see mainly. Let's just keep trying this skill, and I'll talk to you more about it at the end. Do these, I do was one, I guess, on your own, and then let's make sure you're on the right track. So factor 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. Well, I take attendance and give you guys 5 out of 5. Pause. Okay. Before the exciting world of filling up my water bottle in the hallway. Nice Gatorade water bottle. Makes you pretend you're a professional athlete. Salute. Two numbers are multiplied 30 and add to 13. Sounds like a 10x and a 3x to me. Oops. Getting easier. So next step is to create brackets. Get a 2x squared. 2x times x. Outer and inner arrow. How do you create a 10x? 2x times 5. We're going to put the 5 right beside the 2x or over here. Make sure you put it in the right spot. Now I've got my 5x and my 10x. I need my 3x. So how do I get 3x? X times. There's my 3x. You can clearly see there's my 10x. Does it work? I better just quickly FOIL check it. So 2x squared. Yep. I got 10x plus 3x is 13x, and then wow, that is so quicker and easier than decomp. Go ahead and do this one, and then we'll start putting some negative signs in there to make this harder, and a couple options on your first term. Let's do that first. On the podcast, pause until you're done. All right, let's rock and roll. Two numbers multiplied by 60 and add to 32 are 30 and 2. Those are middle terms. When we give some product, there's only one way to get 5x squared. There's only one way to create middle terms. 5x times what equals 30 or 2? 6. There's my 30x. I need a 2x, so x times 6. Okay, those are the easy ones to get you started, all positives. Any questions? Everyone know what's going on? All right, let's do some ones with negatives. And yeah, I'm just going to give them to you. So you got 2 questions to do right now. Sorry, some of you still written down, so we'll leave that there. So go ahead and do 3 nacho cheese squared. Subtract 2 nacho cheese. Subtract frosty. And 2 Yahoo. Subtract 15. I used to be a yodeler. Podcast. Please pause. Back to me 5. The numbers are multiplied at negative 24 and add to negative 2. Talk to me. What are your middle terms? Somebody? Negative. Good job. So I need a negative 6 nacho cheese and a 4 nacho cheese. Now I can move on to my next step, which is to create brackets. That's what factor means. And create my 3n squared. And draw my vowel arrows. And who has the answer for me? Yep.
3n minus 8.
Say properly. 3n subtract 8 times. And times n plus 2 also. Okay, so I have my negatives. Not my negative 6. Okay, so if you check that using FOIL, it doesn't quite work. So fix it up before we get there. Thanks, Tess. Hold on. Erase. So that's fine if you make a mistake, because when you check it, it doesn't work. So you start again. Okay, what did you say to 3n? Okay. N minus 2. So I have my negative 6x, yep, and I have my negative 6n and my 4n. Check. You're good? Okay. The good thing about decomp is when you make a mistake, when you FOIL it, it doesn't work. So you just go back and fix up those numbers. Usually it's a sign mistake. Sometimes I see when it's an 8n, instead of students put 2 there, they put 8 there. But again, if you FOIL it, it won't work. So you need to know that common mistakes are that, and maybe putting them in the wrong spot. This one, almost doing our head. Negative 30, add to 1, so I need a plus 6, and I need a negative 5. Is that it? No. Is that a little quicker than decomp? No. All right. Let's do some harder examples where we have more than one option for our first term. I want to go blue. So let's do this one together. Number 7, 8x squared, subtract 10x, subtract 3z. And let's do it quickly. Two numbers are multiplied to negative 24 and add to negative 10 or negative 12 and 2. So those are our middle terms that we need. And now, I have to create an 8x squared, and there's 2 options. Not only is there 8x and x, what else is there, everyone? There's 4x and 2x, or vice versa, it doesn't matter. So you have 2 options, so this one's harder. But only one of the options works. Okay, so now what you need to get a negative 12 and a positive 2, what numbers are you going to use? Are you going to use this to get negative 12 and positive 2, or are you going to use this to get negative 12 and positive 2? Well, let's discount 8, because 8 times 1 and 8 times 2 doesn't equal 12. And that doesn't work. Okay, so the 8 doesn't work to get 12 or 2 if we're talking about multiplying by whole numbers. So that discounts quickly. Now you do the exact same thing. I'll let you fill it in. I start with the 4 myself. 4 times what equals negative 12. There's my negative 12. Now I need a 2. So 2x times 1 equals 2x. So you can see this is a little more challenging because there's 2 options. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 options. Like if you had 24x, you have a lot of factors of 24. But it's not going to happen too often. But this is certainly harder, but I would say 15 seconds harder. Not too much. Did it check out? Did I get 8x squared? Yep, I got negative 12x plus 2x, which is negative 10x, and then negative 3. So it checks out. There's number 7. Here's number 8. We're doing it together again. Two numbers that multiply to -9 and add to 8. I need a 9x and a -1x. Sorry if I'm just doing that too quickly, but you guys should know do some product by now, and you don't have to do it that quickly. But let's go to the process. Process is there's two options here. There's 9x times x to give you 9x squared, and there's 3x times 3x. Which one are you going to use, the top or the bottom? Yeah, the bottom looks cute, but it's not Valentine's yet. Okay, you need to get a 9. You can get a 9 with the 3, but then you need to get a -1, and then this 3 is too big for the -1. Okay, so this one doesn't work. This one does work. 9x times 1 gives you the 9x, and now I need a -1x. That's the only thing that works. Ready? Hi. Yeah, so sum is -9, and nope, did you say I didn't do it so well when I did it in 5 seconds? The product is -9, the sum is 8, so there's my 9 and -1, because the sum is positive, so they add up. Is it foil? Did anyone check it using foil? Does it work? Okay. Still cool. Math is so cool. You can do decomp, and you can do Coca Cola Shuffle. You get the exact same answers. So let's try this one on your own. Kind of. Let's just do one step at a time. Let's do the sum product step real quick. Product equals -36. Sum equals -5. Someone tell me. Quick blurt. -36 and -5. They all said in 1 second. -9x and 4x. Now, try the next step on your own. Solve x squared. Oh, good luck. This is going to take an hour. Memories. My wife or my daughter play that song every morning. It sticks to my head. Okay, here is your next step. 12x squared. There's one way. There's two way. There's 3 options. And when you do this enough, you kind of can just tell what works and what doesn't. I'll let you discount 2 of them and find the one that's the winner. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I see it. First of all, you can't use the 12, because 12 times 1 is 12, and you just need a -9 and a 4. 6 doesn't work, because 6 times 1 is 6. There's no 6. 6 times 2 is 12. That's too big. So we're left with, this is thumbs down. Set the bottom. And can someone do this for me? Thank you. -3. Oh, red. Does that give me a -9x? Yes, with this arrow, and this gives me a 4x. Yep. I agree. Check. Up. All right, let's go. Cannon on. 2 more on your own. I'll leave that on there. 10. Please do 18x squared. Subtract the right side. 2 others. And 16x squared plus 2x, subtract 3. Boo Stampeders. Getting boo Stampeders. Because our good friend Charlie Power, who I didn't teach, but I coached at HCA, is an alumni. So once he was signed with Calgary, and it's probably been 8 or 9 years now. He's got 2 Grey Cups. I had to start cheering for the Stamps as my second team. Go Riders, go. All right, podcast people, pause it up and unpause when you're ready. I can tell the podcast people why. I have no hair because I teased bald teachers when I was a kid. Watch out. Keep making fun of me behind my back. 54 and negative 29. That's possible. What's middle terms? Thank you. Well done. Well, that's what we have to create. So I did not go. So 18. There's 3 options. You don't have to write them all down if you don't want to, but I would until you get used to it. So you might miss one, and if the other 2 don't work and you're stuck, don't leave it blank. It doesn't mean you missed 6 times 3. So sometimes we have those brain cramps. Which one are you gonna get? Negative 27, not 18. No times 18. 9 times 3 is 27. That's a possibility. And not 6. Can't get a 27 from 6 or 3. So hopefully you eliminate them fairly quickly. And hopefully not only can we get a 27, but we also need a negative 2. So there's my negative 27, and there's my negative 2. Now again, sometimes you do this just accidentally, it happens, but if you foil it, it won't work. And then you correct your mistake and make that 2 a 1. And now I get 18x squared, negative 27, negative 29. Negative times negative is positive 3. Checkaroo. Salute. I like to do square root answer. Good. Like math? I'm trying to close in and said I love math. Do I? Zero. Negative 48. Looks like it's 8x and negative 6x if I do it quickly. Everyone agree with that? Those are the middle terms you need. And is it 16 and 1 or 8 times 2? Not 16, right? So that's where the 4 times 4. Nope. So is that the one? 8x times 1 gives you my 8x. Now I need a negative 6. That was pretty quick. 10 seconds quicker than decomp. What do you think? Okay, here's your work right now on Coca Cola Shuffle. I want to do these questions over and do them using Coca Cola Shuffle, and then compare them with the answers you got using decomp. They should be exactly the same. Okay, so I'll give you 13-ish minutes. All right, lied. I'll give you 15 minutes to do that, and we'll talk about Coca Cola Shuffle and decomp. Okay, grand finale. So the questions that you did in 15, you get the exact same answer? Yes? All right, so it's up to you. Here is the drum roll, please. You do not need to know how to do Coca Cola Shuffle. This is how I did in high school. I don't know if Mr. Phil Anton, or I don't know if I did it in high school. I think I just did it this way when I had to teach it in Bermuda. I don't know. But anyways, I've been looking for like 25 textbooks. I've never found this way. So that's why I call it the Coca Cola Shuffle. I'm sure I didn't invent it. But whoever did, please let me know on the podcast. It works perfectly. I like it, honestly, because it's shorter. When you have grade 11 and 12, there's no other teacher who's going to ever mention the Coca Cola Shuffle. They're all going to teach you decomp. So I would advise that you do decomp to get ready for grade 11 and 12, because that's what you're going to see. This is right. You can do it this is right, and it saves you time. I will never ask you to do Coca Cola Shuffle on the test, but it is nice to have a second way, right? If a decom question doesn't work out, you can always do Coca Cola Shuffle. You want me to dance? No, I'm not going to shuffle. But I did drink Coke. Yes, David.
So if we can do this,
Do this?
left and all the way, it's going to be marked wrong.
No, they can't mark it wrong. It's right. But there is other. So you have a grouping question, you can't do this, right? I mean, you could if you collect the like terms, but it says factored by grouping. You still have to do grouping. Okay, so even with us, you can't Coca-Cola Shuffle everything. So then ask you grouping questions and say factored by grouping, so you have to know that. But this is an option. It's a good concept to do today when I have the third in my class. And I'm never going to ask you to do it, but you do it for me, full marks, for sure, for sure. And for 11 and 12, you can talk to the teachers as you will, but that's it, folks. That's all, folks.